Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the NFL. So y'all check this out. This is the week of the Super Bowl, y'all. The week where history could be made. History could be made, y'all. If Kansas City wins this Super Bowl, come on, man. A three-peat, that's something we haven't seen in our lifetimes. That's pretty awesome. Then your boy, Patrick Mahomes, will be closing in on being the GOAT, closing in on it, really. So there's a lot of things going on there, And, Philadelphia wins is also cool, you know what I mean? Just somebody else, because I know a lot of, half of America's like, well, damn it, we're sick of these people winning all the damn time. At some point, you get tired of it. So that's history. But I got a little bit more history from you, from the regular season. We tend, in our haste to, degrade some of these athletes to do things in a regular season, like the regular season doesn't matter. If it didn't matter, then let's just tell all of the fans that's filling up these stadiums or arenas, you don't have to come until the postseason, right? The regular season matters. We have highlights in the regular season. You're jockeying for position to get to the postseason. And it's about money as well. So regular season does matter. If not, we could take all the records that are done in the regular season, the regular season MVPs and all the trophies and accolades that you get from the regular season, and throw them in the trash can. But we won't want to do that. Regular season doesn't matter when you don't want it to matter. Regular season does matter. And this regular season, I think we saw something historical in the world of the NFL. And that'll be Lamar Jackson. Now, I was going to say this in another video I'm about to do about Clarissa Shields, who became 3-division undisputed in the women's boxing. The GOAT, without a question. I was going to put this in that video, but I think this deserves a video of its own because I want people to do their research, because I didn't. I'm just doing it, like a lot of times I just come on here and I just talk from what I know or think I know or felt throughout the years of watching sport and playing it, of course. Now, what you've seen from Lamar Jackson this year, you saw 40 touchdowns, right? And 4 interceptions, right? Which I think is probably one of the best seasons ever in terms of the touchdowns to interception ratio. I won't say turnover ratio because he had about 3 or 4 turnovers, with fumbles and things like that can happen. But we're just talking about your accuracy as a quarterback, because this is a guy, you have to remember, who was told he can't quarterback, who was told he's not a pocket passer, he'll never be, who was told he can't read defenses, all those things. So you factor that in when talking about Lamar Jackson. He has to overcome that. He shouldn't have even been the quarterback. Now he's leading rusher of quarterbacks of all time already, still in his 20s. Got a couple of more years in his 20s, matter of fact. And he's already tackled that. No pun intended. Now, but, hey, his passer rating, his QBR. Now, he's already finished a season with over 100 passer rating. I think he had 113 one season. But this season, he was at 119 passer rating, like about 4th of all time. Of all time, passer rating. We're not talking about any of the running he did. He had 900 yards rushing too. But we're just talking about passer rating, right? Because he had 40 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Now, I will argue that that's probably the most ever when you factor in. This should be a stat, and I'm guarantee you if someone else had done this, we would be talking about this stat. Tell me a season where a quarterback has went the whole season without throwing 1 interception that was his fault. Okay? Because that's what happened with Lamar Jackson this year. And I see enough people talking about it enough unless you go on a Baltimore Ravens podcast or a Baltimore Ravens YouTube channel. The whole season, and then let's put 40 touchdowns on it. Whole season throwing 40 touchdowns, right? And not throwing 1 interception that was your fault. Now, interceptions that are not your fault, I don't know what we would name it, But that should be a category, guys. You know, you got interceptions, period, because they happen, and it should be a stat. But for quarterbacks and quarterback rating and stuff like that, I think that's an important stat. Because, damn it, you know, quarterbacks also have these negative stats against them. Like, you lost the game, and we know that, Tucker missed field goals in the middle of the season that cost them the game. But just they only talk about it the day after, a week after it, Lamar Jackson lost that game. He can't win. Why did he lose against those teams? Right? So that's what happens, And now Lamar Jackson can't do well in the playoffs, right? And we had a whole lot of mistakes. Drop balls from Henry, from Mark Andrews. And I'm talking about in your hand drops in the middle of a damn game that cost everything. Yeah, Lamar Jackson had one interception that was his fault in the playoffs. And then he had a fumble because I'm about to do one of my plays that's a highlight reel plays, and I fumbled the ball, right? So he had 2 turnovers in that game. Came back, brought him back, and damn near won that game. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to focus on this stat because I don't think it's happened in history. Has a quarterback ever played a whole season and hasn't thrown an interception that was his fault? Right? And if there was one, did he also have 40 damn touchdowns? Go do your homework. That was legendary. That's Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm going to leave it at that on this video because I'm going to talk about that in another video when I talk about Commissioner Shields in a minute here. Bottom line is, let's go find out. Has there ever been a quarterback to throw 40 touchdowns and not throw an interception that was his fault? And second question is, don't you think that should be a quarterback statistic? Don't you think we need to keep a stat of that? You know what I mean? Interceptions, yeah, 10. I threw 10 interceptions, but I threw 6 interceptions that were my fault. I think that's an interesting stat for quarterbacks. What about you? Doma Sports Tap. Worldwide, we should call it the Lamar stat. And I'm up out of here, y'all.